probably had more than one job back in the day, and you're getting married soon, Mel. Feeling romantic about everything will pass and you'll be back to normal.
Hope not,
Mel answered, slowing down again to let another vehicle pass them on the single-track road.
I quite like it, Flora, even if you don't.
Flora glanced at Mel then, and her face suddenly became alive with mischief. Forget the hot tub, Mel. I dare you to swim in the sea. That's what you get for bringing us to some out-of-the-way island instead of Italy.
What?
Mel screeched, meeting Flora's laughing expression with eyes that widened in horror and dawning realization.
No way! Just because we've always dared each other doesn't mean we have to carry on. We're grown-ups now with careers and homes and partners and stuff.
Don't be ridiculous, Mel, Sophie piped up eagerly, leaning forwards to perch herself between the two front seats. Coming away this weekend is all about enjoying ourselves and forgetting our responsibilities. Daring each other is exactly what we should be doing. I think the sea is a brilliant idea. The waters are supposed to be warmed by the Gulf Stream. You've always liked wild swimming.
In the summer, not in April. In the Hebrides. Well, in that case, Sophie Williams, I dare you to wear flat shoes all weekend, even at dinner.
Tiny, hardly more than 5 feet, Sophie always wore heels, and Flora grinned as she glanced in the rearview mirror and met her friend's look of horror.
But I've only brought one pair of ballet flats to wear to the spa,
Sophie wailed.
I'll look ridiculous wearing the same shoes all weekend. Absolutely not.
Fine, Mel told her airily.
Then I'm not going in the sea. Sorted.
If I wear them at dinner tonight, then you better swim before we go home, Mel. Sophie looked at Flora crossly. You started this, she told her through gritted teeth. And seeing as you're now single and without a date for the wedding, we dare you to find one before the weekend's over. It was Flora's turn to be alarmed now, and her eyes widened in dismay as she understood the challenge Sophie had laid down. Are you crazy? Up here? Where do you suppose I'll find a suitable, single man who's likely to turn up in Ripon on the right day? No, thank you. I'm more than happy to go to the wedding on my own. Sophie shrugged, unconcerned. Doesn't matter if you don't. The point is to try. A dare's a dare, and I'm up for it, if you two are. Fine, Flora said breezily, convinced that the opportunity would never arise as she reached for the map slipping off her knees. Mel? Mel nodded, meeting Sophie's now cheerful gaze in the mirror.
Okay, if you absolutely insist.
The clouds parted for a few moments as she turned the Jeep onto a wide driveway, flanked by green lawns and beautifully planted borders filled with shrubs offering early-season colour.
See, Sophie? The map worked. We're here.
Flora stretched sleepy limbs. It seemed a long time since she had left home this morning. They had spent a merry evening in her little house near Thorndale in Yorkshire, miles from the island but still closer than either of her friends' homes. She was hungry, but dinner could wait until she had had a long, hot bath, and she drew in a breath as the driveway swung to the right and the hotel was gradually revealed. Mel pounded the brake pedal for what seemed like forever until the Jeep lurched to a halt, and Flora heard gravel scattering beneath the wheels. Wish you'd washed it, Sophie told Mel, as she shoved her door open and climbed out, staring warily at the churning sky above them. Surely you didn't need to bring half the farm with you.
No point.
Mel grinned at Sophie as she joined her on the drive.
Look at the state of it now.
Flora unwound herself from the car as Sophie continued to grumble, knowing that her muttering was only the result of having a young child not yet sleeping through. Also, Sophie had been hoping for Italian sun and was instead facing the vagaries of the Scottish weather. The ferry had been delayed and they were all feeling tired. But then Flora's smile widened as she turned around and stared with pleasure at the building. Wow! It's beautiful, Mel. A glorious house stood before them, a magnificent baronial tower topped with turrets and curious gates.